One. Okay, everybody. All right, I'm leaving it. I'm leaving it. Okay, so we have a little bit of a treat. I totally forgot I was going to ask you ghost stories because I feel like he has some. So we're going to do a little special. If you're here on Patreon, you're getting to see this as a preview. And for everybody else that are on YouTube, you're going to have to wait for it. But here is the end to the interview with Phillip Ramos. And so you had a ghost story for me.
I can do more than one.
Oh, you can, please.
Okay, all right. So we're going with God, when I was about 16, 17, I lived with my girlfriend. Well, I didn't live with her yet. I was spending the night, and she was like, "Spend the night, stay in my bed." And I'm raised old school Mexican. I thought, no. Her mom wake up in the middle of the night and just beat the shit out of me. So the compromise I came up with was I was going to lay on the floor, and then she stayed in the same bed with her mom. Well, her mom's room was kind of weird, full of really old stuff, old pictures that didn't all belong to her either. There's a whole collection of creepy old dolls against the wall, too, that she inherited from an old aunt. Anywho, so I'm laying there trying to drift to sleep. Hadn't fallen asleep yet. Both of them were out cold, snoring. And out of the far back corner, one of the shadows got kind of inky, started swirling around, kind of like that. And it seemed to have a life of its own. It just would swirl and then move from place to place.
Like jellyfishish, kind of?
Like a jellyfishy, octopusy kind of thing.
Ooh, yeah, I'm picturing some like insidious black inky.
Well, it didn't see. It had round edges. It all seemed very non-threatening. Okay. But I was still like drifting off, and I wasn't quite sure what I was seeing. And I have no idea why, but when it hovered over me, I looked at it, and it was on the ceiling. Like, it didn't, like, come out. It was like a shadow on the ceiling. It's like, Grandma? Is everything going to be okay? That's what I said. My grandma's still alive. Both my grandmas are still alive. All of them. And for some reason, just saying that made it go away. It just swirled up, went out of the room, into the hallway.
So it wasn't your grandmother as a spirit you were talking to. You just, for whatever reason, was asking your grandma if things would be okay. Did you live with your grandmother at that time?
No, I lived with my grandmother. I really did think it was that my grandmother on my dad's side had deceased, had died.
Oh, okay.
During that weird, whatever that was going on, that thought ran through my head. Man.
Grandma, is it gonna be okay? Man, I don't know about that. I don't think that I'd be looking for it to be my grandma if it was something dark swirling around all crazy. But I don't know. So okay, so that I really enjoyed that. That's really nuts. What else happened?
Well, okay, this same house.
Can I offer you something?
Yes. Well, this is a nice potion. I don't know what this is.
That was the lavender.
Oh, Tears of Orphans.
Yeah, Tears of Orphans. There's some honey for that Tear of Orphan if you'd like.
Thanks. You mean bee spit?
Bee spit. Okay, some bee spit, Tear of Orphan.
It's funny, the lavender is used to make the honey, which works out great.
Oh, yeah, lavender honey is really, really good. One of my favorite teas ever is Moroccan mint and lavender petals, and they do a little bit of heavy cream with some honey. Mm-hmm. That's so good. If you've got a tummy ache, doesn't matter. If you're stressed out, if you're feeling like life just needs a little bit of something, it's like ice cream in a drink, and it loves you back, and it takes care of all of your problems.
It loves you back. It takes care of your problems.
It does. I actually get mine at Teasers down in Tower. Mm-hmm. So they do the Moroccan mint and the lavender cream. Anybody who's down in the Fresno area, go check out Teasers. Lavender cream, Moroccan mint. Yeah, you mix those two. That's what's up on that. So that is what is up.
Yeah, she's not paid by Teasers at all.
I am not. This is # not sponsored. Mm-hmm. I'm just a fan. You can sponsor me. I'd be okay with that.
Just give her a free tea once a week.
Free tea,
once a week, and she's all for that.
I was getting the dry tea from them. I had to mix my blend for a little bit, and it's $20 for like 4 ounces. But it lasts you like 10, 11 cups of tea. So if you're paying $6 per time you go versus $20 for 10 or 11 of the same, you can make it at your home. You know what I mean?
I think we're off topic.
Oh, we are totally off topic.
Yes.
Well, that happens sometimes, so that's okay. But anyways.
All right,
so back to ghosts,
the flighty fairy.
Calling me flighty fairy right here. I'm right here. No, I do want to know about your ghost stories, though.
All right. So, next one's kind of weird. Same house. Much later on. At this point, I'd been living with my girlfriend for a while and her family. And I stayed up late playing video games, so I crashed on the couch. Well, in the middle of the night, maybe around 3:30, I heard the dining room table topple over, and the dining room was behind where the couch is at. So I sit up to look back at what it was, and there was nothing there at first. But right past where the chair fell over, there is an opening to the kitchen, and it's always just pitch black. No matter what, no matter if there's moon out or not, because there's windows in that room, it's still always pitch black. And out of this pitch blackness came what seemed to be hands, gripping onto the walls and pulling itself forward as if it was trying to actually physically pull itself out of liquid or mud. And from that blackness came a face, or I can say it's a face. It was a flayed man. The arms were flayed, the flesh was all gone, but it was still fresh, so it would look drippy and oily, but nothing was dripping. And as if it was coming through, it had like a silent scream, just a roar that I couldn't see. The mouth was just wide open, probably. And at this point, I'm seeing this and I'm thinking, I'm still asleep, or I've lost my mind. And it pulls itself free from the inky blackness. I don't know what to do, so I run over to where the hallway's at. And that quick movement, that's when it seemed to have noticed me. Because it stopped pulling itself forward, and its mouth closed, and it just looked at me. Well, it couldn't have looked at me, but it faced me with these eyeless sockets. No skin over the teeth, just this toothy grin, as all skulls have, and these eyeless sockets. Now remember, it's flayed, so they still had the nose and everything, so it was just very unsettling.
That's really horrible.
Yeah, it was.
That's really horrible. That's like an Insidious movie, or even worse. That's like that's the making of a perfect horror movie right there. I gotta know, I'm not to take you off, but was there a reason for a filleted man to be there? Do you know anything about the land or anything?
There was very bad place, but also it was.
What city
the
was
woman?
this in?
This is in Fresno. The woman that lived there previously had shot herself in the mouth in the back bathroom, which was the bathroom that no one went to because it always felt weird.
Wow. They
replaced the tile. It's the only place the tile was a different color was in that bathroom, because straight out the back and destroyed the tile. But that was the only place there was a shower, so we'd always go back there and have unsettling showers. Sometimes you feel as if someone would like touch you in the shower.
Do you feel it was all the same spirit, or do you think it was like a demonic force that caused the woman to maybe go over the edge, or do you feel that it was just like it will show up as whatever would scare you? Or
the rumor was that her husband was cheating on her, but you ask as if I know. If I had to guess,
mean, your speculation is as good as anybody's. I'm just asking the questions they can't. So
true. If I had to guess, I think it was very negative there, so it attracted other negative things. Now, whether this was the flayed man was some really well hallucinated like dream, it was still a negative pull there, because I wasn't really a negative person.
How old were you when this happened?
Oh, God. I had to be early 20s.
Okay, and were you experimenting with drugs and alcohol?
Oh, no,
at that point in time?
no.
I mean, I just have to ask.
I didn't start drinking till I was 24.
Okay, so this
24, 25.
This is a clear-minded person that's having this experience. Then I mean, I'm not. Then I think you're not.
Well,
I'm just asking the questions, like I said.
No past hallucinations in my life. No drugs. At that point, no alcohol either. No, not Mormon. I just take my time with stuff. And just to answer that, that's like the second question that's gonna pop in their mind.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm glad I waited. It was way more fun. Anywho, it's just it was a negative space. And I wasn't the only person living there. You know, she lived there with her mother and sister, and they would have negative experiences too.
Wow, that is just crazy. You had one you talked to me about earlier where there was a scream that came across the...
Oh my God!
That
Yes.
creeped me out when
I forgot about that
did
one.
the vocals for that, and I was like, oh, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. So me and my at the time girlfriend were sitting in her bed, or actually laying back in her bed. We were discussing, comparing our stories about the creepiness of her house, and as we both I said aloud, so I wonder if this place is haunted. And before she could say anything, from right to left. Now, the right-hand side is where the door is at. Left-hand side was my side of the bed, where there's just a wall. From right to left, you heard this horrible... And we just stopped talking for a good minute or two. And then finally, when one of us got the courage to actually say what just happened, did you hear that? And we did not sleep well that night. We left the lights on. We played card games until like 2 in the morning. It was creepy.
Oh my gosh, that is just that's horrible. That when you, if it was anything like what you did, and hearing that disembodied just coming from you across your room, that would not be any sleeping with me. I'd have all the lights on. I'd have a movie going, a goofy movie or something. I'd have something going on, distract my mind.
It wasn't just across the room. When I did it like that in front of me, that's the distance you've heard the sound from.
Oh.
It was directly over us.
Oh.
In less than a foot of distance. It gently jumped across the bed and crossed over both of our faces.
That's just not... That's not pleasant.
No, we had people bless the area and try and decurse it, and then that's when we found out that someone had killed themselves over a messy divorce in that place. It made the property value drop down, which was great, and so they bought it cheaper. The grandmother did a long time ago. Anywho.
Well, the thing about Fresno is we're in the Central Valley. If anybody doesn't know where Fresno, California is, I'm from Clovis, California, which is right next to Fresno. It's like basically the same little city and town together. We're in a bowl. We're in the Flat Basin. We're where the Plainsland Indians were, and where like the nomadic tribe Indians were. So the thing about that is they would go and they would hunt their buffalo or whatever they were stalking, and they would move with the herds. So if Grandma died, Grandma got buried wherever they were last, and then they would just leave them wherever. So basically, when they're like, oh, ancient Indian burial ground, pretty much all of where we live is an ancient burial ground, because our nomadic tribes were vast here, and they ruled for a really long time, and they would just, whenever they drop off. Now, some of the shamans practiced, some of the different tribes practice, necromancy. We have the legend of the skinwalker here, which I think that's what I was experiencing down here in Madeira. Oh yeah, you want my skinwalker story real quick?
Yeah, let's share the skinwalker
Oh my
story.
gosh. So I'm with my friends, and we're hanging out in the pool. My boyfriend's actually at the Tool concert.
Oh, do they know what a skinwalker is?
A skinwalker is, and I'm not 100% either, but what I think I know about a skinwalker is that they are, oh, that's honey, is, I've got honey on my phone, never mind. What I think a skinwalker is like, it was like a shaman or something like that in a tribe who did some sort of sacrifice or soul practice where he basically gave himself up to where he'd be immortal and live forever, or something along the lines of that. And they basically are shapeshifters. They eat children, they eat people, they would like hurt different tribes. They would sometimes appear as like wolves, sometimes appear as like part, with the antlers and all, deer, and part this and that. Is that pretty much what you know about them?
Yes. Kind of the whole eating children thing. I didn't know much about that, but someone who could a shapeshifter.
Yeah, like a shapeshifter. Well, I thought it went with their necromancy. Something about they had to like sacrifice a child or something like that to get that ability. There was something. That's at least what I heard. I don't know. This is a white girl telling the story. I'd listen to the guy that looks like he might know a little.
Yeah, from what I've heard, the shapeshifters were able to achieve it through prayer and like ritual. It wasn't always a dark thing.
Okay.
But then when a shapeshifter became a trickster, that's when it became a dark thing.
Okay.
And if you got stuck in a form, there's even more names for something like that. But that's just what little I know about it.
Well, like I said, I'm not knowing much about it either, but the reason I even came across what it possibly was that would be maybe that, a skinwalker, is because I'm hanging out, it's summertime, it's nighttime. I'm in the pool. To my left, there's the house. The lights are on outside. You can see the barbecue pit and all of the nice, nicely manicured everything. I'm talking with our friend. We're talking about something. I think about the Tool concert that my boyfriend was at or whatever. You know how I'm looking at you, but I can still see my pool and everything right here?
Yeah.
I'm seeing something go out of my peripheral, and I'm like, every time I'm like, what the hell am I looking at? Because I go and I look, and I don't see anything. So finally, I get it in my mind, okay, if I look directly at it, it's not going to move. So I have to watch this thing with my peripheral actively. Now I'm noticing when it goes, it distorts whatever it's in front of it. So much like, with a bottle, if you were to look through a glass, the image isn't clear, it distorts it. It's got that blurriness to it.
Yeah.
It's almost the same as if you ever saw the heat wave on a very, very hot barbecue grill. You know that that heat wave that comes up? It looked like that. So I started noticing it, when it would go in front of the plants, it would distort the plants. So I'm like, okay, it's definitely something. Now, it looked to be like 7-8 foot tall, giant broad shoulders, this huge head with this like headpiece or something going on real big behind its head. And it's what I could see of its legs, they looked like they kind of did that weird dog leg thing where they go backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here talking to our friend Hunter, and I'm looking at him, but I'm really watching this thing. And finally, it crosses the yard to where it's no longer underneath the shade of the awning, but it's out underneath the full moonlight. The moonlight casts glimmer on this thing's head, on its snout, on its shoulders, on the back ends of its legs, on everything. And so now I'm saying, oh my God, what the hell is that? Because now I can really, really see it. No longer am I thinking, am I seeing something? Mm-hmm. Now, for sure, I am seeing something. Now, full disclaimer, I smoke pot, but I have for so many years, it doesn't get me, I'm like, yeah, dude. No, it's just kind of like, make me feel nice and calm and helps my back and this and that. So I wasn't like blown, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't on hallucinogens that were like, you know what I mean? This is like just normal, everyday me seeing this thing. I tell Hunter, I don't know what this thing is, but I just saw this thing. And he goes, shut up. You don't know. You weren't here. And I'm like, what do you mean? Apparently, his friend was over the day before in broad daylight, said he saw the same exact thing, but he saw it going from tree to tree to tree in their front yard. So, and he didn't tell me any of this, so I fully freaked him out. Now, him and his girlfriend are like, are we safe in the pool? I'm like, I don't know. And we get out, we run inside, all this and that. Day comes, day goes. It's still, it's summer. My boyfriend comes the next day. We have a little bit of a barbecue. We hang out for most of the day. Mm-hmm. That night comes. We leave. We say our goodbyes. We're on the way home. For some reason, I get it in my mind. I'm going to tell him the story about what I saw, just to tell him. No sooner do I finish my story than the thing runs across the road as we're driving. I mean, maybe 30 feet in front of us. And I just go like that. I don't say anything. And without missing a beat, my boyfriend says, is that thing you saw? And I said, you saw that too? And he says, yeah. And I'm all, what was it? He's all, I don't know. I'm all, is it after us? He says, no, I think it lives here. And I said, no, I'll choose to believe that. I mean, it was probably a freaking lie. So now I'm going home. I'm doing my research. I'm thinking military. I'm thinking alien. I'm thinking whatever. But I come across Skinwalker. And I'm like, well, this is like the plains where those kind of tribes were at. So it stands to reason that there could possibly be remnants of that spirit just kind of, you know what I mean?
Who the hell knows? With the description you have, that is nothing that's in anywhere. Never heard of that before. No,
you know what it really looked like though? Is you ever seen the movie Alien vs. Predator?
Yes.
You know when that predator is invisible?
Yes.
That's what it looked like. In the size, and the shape, and the headpiece, and the shoulders,
Well, that's the first thing I would have thought it was. Oh my God, the Predator.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, oh my gosh, the military's doing some crazy shit, and they're testing their Predator suit in Madera, California.
Just get to the chopper.
Yeah, get to the chopper. That was like probably the worst Arnold anybody's ever heard. Can you do an Arnold?
No, I'm not even gonna try.
Get to the chopper. No, I'm not. That was even worse.
Oh God.
That was even worse. I'm sorry, Arnold. I'm sorry.
Stop.
I'm sorry to all the people who can do Arnold. I'll never try again.
Send her videos of you doing your best Arnold impression.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that, actually. Send your videos.
Something strong, you know.
So do you have any more ghost stories for us, or do I tap you out?
Oh, God. Fresno's... I don't want to say Fresno's pretty haunted, but it's an old place. It's an old, creepy place, Fresno. I've worked out at the Kearney Mansion, and that is...
Have you ever seen the lady out in front of Kearney? The lady in the wedding dress?
No, I haven't seen that lady. Though... Okay, so Mr. Kearney is a very wealthy man who died before he could build a castle in Fresno. So all that's left of him is this mansion and this giant park that was his front yard. Kearney Boulevard, this long road, was supposedly his driveway. So, the mansion's a decent size. I used to work there as an archival assistant. Archival assistant means sometimes you handle really valuable things, but most of the time you're just cleaning and doing whatever else they need. So I'm inside the main building where Mr. Kearney used to live, and I'm scrubbing the floors, I'm polishing things, and I keep hearing someone walk around in the back bedrooms. And I yell back, I'm going to need some more paper towels. Sharon? Sharon? Huh. I think she walked out. Or she just didn't hear me. Or, any logical, sane reason. It keeps happening. And the bathroom door closes. And the light goes on as if someone's using the restroom.
Sorry.
Dropping forks.
Don't worry about me. I just can't stay still.
It's like she's had pixie sticks. So she's had 14 pixie sticks right before the shooting. So I'm surprised she's still as she is. So now I'm thinking that one of the tourists, we give tours of the house, got in somehow. I left the door unlocked. So I go there and I stand next to the bathroom and I wait for 20 minutes. Of course, during that time I knocked. I kept asking questions, no response. I open the door. I unlock the damn door. No one's in there. Lights on, the fan's on, no one's in there. Nah, I'm thinking that maybe they just did all that and then left really quick. We keep trying to find these rational ideas for when weird things happen. Oh, just the wind. Oh, that just got lifted up for no reason. Sometimes it defies logic. So I turn the corner and the main window is always so really bright, so all I really see is shapes. There was a gentleman, from what I could tell, was dressed decently, walking from the dining room into Mr. Kearney's study. And, sir, can you please leave? Sir, what are you doing here? He's walking by. Sir, sir, sir. He goes in. I go to follow him, and he slams the door in my face. So I quickly open the door.
Wow.
Sir, I'm going to need... Secondary door is closed. That door sticks. You'd hear it. But the door that I followed him into, that would then be the only way in or out. Office is immaculate. It's just been cleaned. Nothing's been touched. Nothing's been moved. At the time, I told myself, I've been inhaling too many cleaning solution fumes. I should probably go. And it never happened again. Other people out at the mansion say they've seen things, people in old-fashioned clothing, or that stuff gets moved. That was my only incident out there, and I still sometimes say that it was just the fumes.
Well, no, I'd always heard the Kearney Mansion was haunted, and I took a tour out there, and it was during the day, and I didn't feel crap, and I am an empath to the max, and so I was so disappointed that I didn't feel anything. But it was like the middle of the day. You know what I mean? There was definitely an emptiness there, but I always wanted to hear a story from somebody who actually had an experience. Yeah. So do you feel it was like residual and it's not an active thing, or do you feel that it was an intelligent haunting?
I am almost positive that whatever anyone sees anything out there, it's like a recording that's being played back.
Okay.
That it's not something that is actually alive and doing things, because I've never heard anyone talk about it interacting with you or talking to you, and it always is opening and closing doors, or you hear someone just walking past. And I had one incident, and that was it. Other people have worked there for twice as long as I was there, and they had nothing. And then you get the intern who just gets nonstop harassment by something around.
Do you think that sometimes other entities that maybe have nothing to do with the property are drawn there just because they know the expectation for there to be a haunting is there?
I don't know, but do you really think ghosts are like, well, they expect me to be there, so I should probably show up?
No, but if they want to feed. Because there are things, like I work in a haunted house, and you can tell the energy of that place when it's off season, and the energy picks up in October. The energy is different. You can tell when they know that there's going to be
things to feed off
things to feed. And I'm not saying that everything that's a ghost or a spirit feeds, but there are energy suckers. There's proof that they take batteries and they take this and that. So possibly if there was something in the area, maybe it would know, because we all have that mental ability to say, oh, that's a hot spot over there. So maybe if there's nothing there, it's like, oh, I'll camp out over there, that there's going to be suckers coming through.
Maybe. I didn't even think about stuff like that. So I have no idea.
I'm sorry.
It's only my experience that I know of, and that it was really passive, and I still can't be sure if it wasn't a guest, if it was the fumes, or if it was a spiritual recording. Who knows?
I like that story. The only thing that I had known about Kearney Mansion, other than that, is supposedly along the drive, if you don't actually turn in, but you are like driving past the gate. I don't know if it's at midnight. I don't know what it is. But apparently there's a bride, and she's walking along the gate or the outside edge of the property. And if you slow down, she'll try to get in your car. But apparently she's got no eyes, and there's I've heard that there's like a pit, like blackness, and I've heard there's like blood. I've heard like all kinds of certain things. But I have one friend. Well, actually, I have two friends now that I know. One was with his uncle and his cousins, and they were driving, and the uncle was telling him the story, and they were like, no, and they slowed down, and they swear the girl was there, and then the uncle took off. And then my boyfriend actually says he has seen the woman, and he also didn't slow down to stop for her, but he actually went to the opposite side of the road to be away from her and took off. I really want to do that. If I ever do that, I will take my camera with me, and we will see this together.
Go on a ghost hunt. Well, you'll be my neck of the woods then. I have never heard of that story.
No.
At all. Which I'm not in the know. I don't hang out a whole bunch of places. So, yeah. It's creepy as hell.
Well, hey, for people who want to know, you want a little ghost adventure, that's when you don't have to leave your car for it. You're not breaking any laws. You're just driving past the property. That's all you have to do.
It is extremely creepy out there because it's just palm trees lined up, symmetrical for forever. It goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. But there's owls in those palm trees. And so if it starts getting late, you start seeing these large winged things leaving or arriving. And if you don't know what they are, they'll freak you out. Kearney Mansion, there's vultures out there. If you don't know what they are, at night, they will hop along the ground and pick up food left by the patrons.
Oh.
So you see this thing going flump, flump, flump.
What the hell is that? It's the biggest frog I ever seen.
And they're like, they seem to be 3 feet tall when they're hopping along on the ground. And then I hit them with my light, and there was two of them side by side making these strange crunching sounds. They were eating popcorn. Hit him with the light, and like one screams, the other one opens its wings, giant wingspan, just like takes off. You don't know what that is. You're not sure how big a vulture should be. You're going to freak out and start running blindly through this. There's no lights. There's no lights in this camp, in this park, by the way. Just by the mansion, and then leads you out. So there's lots of really dark dead spots. And if you're cleaning up or stuck out there and you're coming back and you see that, you just start running blindly. You go, oh God, help me!
Oh my God.
Damon Monkey Redface! It's terrifying.
I want to do that now. I'm going to take some unsuspecting person, like, you want to go ghost hunting? I've heard of this place, Kearney Mansion. Yeah, it's supposed to be real low-key.
just relax, don't worry, and then just take him and wait.
No wonder I'm like, Shaenna, how many friends do you currently have? Oh, they get smaller and smaller every time I take them somewhere.
The heart attack claims half. Yeah. All right, so I have one last ghost story when you're ready to close out.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is the palate cleanser.
Okay.
This is
palate cleanser.
Yes, I call it a palate cleanser because it's a good story to tell at the very end of a long list of ghost stories. Me and my buddy Steven Sunborg, we would, whenever his mom would leave, because she was a nurse, she'd leave around 6. She wouldn't be back till like sometime the next day. So we would go on these epic long walks, and we started exploring random places. So one day we got in our minds, hey, let's walk to the nearest cemetery and hang out there all night. Well, we got lost on the way there, and wound up in the middle of nowhere, so all on foot, walking for about 4 hours. So now it's well past any kind of curfew, and we were underage at the time, so we would hide if we ever saw a cop come by. And we find this really large, in the middle of nowhere, like playground setup. You have the park, rolling hills.
Demon children. That's a palate cleanser.
But it's a well taken care of park. It looks like some sort of like a city project. It looks nice. It's all plastic. None of this old rickety metal or wood. So we're hanging out there and we're debating whether to walk back or not because we keep thinking it's the next street, the next street. And my buddy Steve starts saying, "Did you see that? Did you see that?" Over and over again. I'm like, "See what?" And he's all, "There's something out there." Because it goes on for a while, lots of trees, and off these rolling hills, you see something white going. And it's pretty far out there. Maybe that's someone's pet? Maybe it's a dog? Looks like a dog. As I say that, there is this tremendous howling. As if it is like 20 dogs at once just howling all at the same time. This great big howl. And I instantly think, okay, werewolf, because I'm terrified of werewolves. Thank you, American Werewolf in London, for traumatizing me as a child.
Great movie.
I instantly look up at the sky, and it's a full moon. That's why we can see so well at night. And I'm flipping out. And my buddy Steve was like, "What kind of dog is that? That sounds huge." He's not panicked yet. He's kind of slow to catch on.
Because he doesn't think it's a possibility.
No, it doesn't, but I do. It's happening.
Yeah,
oh, God, it's happening.
My fears.
I knew it. One of us will walk away from this cursed for the rest of our lives.
It's him. His sense of smell is, like, creepy.
It's
him. He was the one that was bit. I can tell you how the story ends.
Well, hence,
just kidding.
Here comes the palate cleanser. So we're now panicking on top of this child's plaything, the little playground. We're in the fort part. Where is it? Is something still moving out there back and forth? And it's fast because it was there and now it's way over there. It's crossing the park almost in a single leap.
Oh, wow.
It's just light enough for us to freak ourselves out. So, my buddy Steve is like a punk rocker, and so he has like these spike stuff everywhere. So I take his spike bracelet and I wrap it around my hand, and he takes his chains and wraps those around his hands up to here. And these chains are all from his belt, by the way. He had a bunch of chains on his belt. We're going to do this. We're going to go out there, and we're going to go out fighting. Then this is the way to Valhalla. Come on.
Oh, God, yeah.
So we don't run, but we march with purpose towards the moving shadows. Out there in the middle of this little park, the howling comes through again, and we start losing our nerve, but we're gonna find out, because if we run, we're gonna die running. We just die tired. And the howling gets bigger and stronger and more frequent, and then as we get up to it, it just dies out. And that's when we realized that quick was the sprinkler system that came on down the edge of the park.
Oh, crap.
It was the sprinklers going back and forth. And so we'd see it go whoosh here and then whoosh over here. And this is just the sprinklers. And the howling begins to break up, and we realize it is multiple dogs howling. So we walk over to the fence on the other end of this park to look in. Past the ivy, there is a junkyard with about 20 dogs.
Oh, crap.
That's why the howling sounded like 20 dogs. It was nothing. We worked ourselves up over sound and over images that we didn't quite understand. We kind of walked back in shame, not talking to each other. We were going to go out bravely, but we jumped to the wrong conclusion too quick.
Well, I absolutely love that. That was a great palate cleanser. Thank you for your actual stories, too. This is going to be like I said, if you guys are watching this, it means that you're on Patreon. If you're watching it later, how you get stuff quicker is go check out the Patreon. So there you go. And if you want more stories from Phillip, give a comment below, and we'll talk to you all later. Have a good night. Bye. Bye.